Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News. I'm your host, Ellie Holder, and this is a weather and lifestyle news show. And boy, we have got quite a few ads this week. And I thank you for it and share and put your comments in there, but share with family and friends. Uh, Boy, YouTube is building up. And uh, I'm happy for it. And of course, we're kind of in limbo with Facebook. So if you're over there on Facebook, share, share, share. It only makes us out there. We're the truth in news. Uh, and the weather and lifestyle news. It is the truth. Uh, the truth in news about animals and recalls and everything that I could possibly share with you on this show, the weather, the earthquakes. And then we move into the news show, but I don't do the news on this show. And hopefully, if you don't want to listen to the hardcore news, uh, start watching weather and lifestyle news. All right. Boy, we have a hurricane that fizzled out, and we have a new one that's going to hit the East Coast, and it looks like a tropical storm. So I'm going to bring that up, and then we'll get on to the earthquakes. Uh,
To a highway. And on North Carolina's Outer Banks, there's one road, 110 miles of unprotected asphalt running along a chain of barrier islands.
This is Highway 12. This is also a very nice day, but imagine when there's a big storm or a hurricane and the...
Oh, boy. Boy, that messed up, huh, didn't it? Uh, Ophelia forms off the southeast coast, surge, flooding rains, and winds to spread up the east coast. And that's what this is. And I'm going to continue it because it's a very informative news clip.
The Atlantic Ocean is right here. It's not going to take much to get that water over or through the dunes and onto the highway.
It's extremely vulnerable to both storms and sea level rise. The barrier island is very low elevation. It's very narrow in parts.
It floods on sections of the highway with just about every storm, hurricane or not.
The road is a huge challenge for us. It's a very vulnerable section of highway. And over the last several years, I can think of probably a dozen different times where the road's been closed because of overwash.
There's temporarily washing out a road, and there's destroying it. That's what happened with Superstorm Sandy. And before that, with Hurricane Irene. The damage was so bad after Irene, a temporary bridge was built to temporarily fix a much bigger problem. A problem that residents living on the Outer Banks have been dealing with since Highway 12 was built more than 50 years ago.
It impacts their economy, it impacts their lives, it certainly impacts the visitors we have coming down here.
With each repair and the changing climate, some people start to wonder if it's worth it.
At some point, we're going to have to say, Uncle, you don't need 2 meters of sea level rise to understand that the barrier island that Highway 12 is sitting on is falling apart now with today's rate of sea level rise and with the storm intensity that we're experiencing today.
Folks, with hurricanes, it's every year. This isn't the climate change hurricane season. This is hurricanes that happen every year. We get the tornadoes. We run tornado hurricane season at the same time. And so we get the tornadoes here in Arkansas when the cold clashes with the warm. And we get them every year. This is the most, in between spring and fall, it's the fiercest tornado season that we could get here in the South. So it has been a very light hurricane season. How many we had that we have worried about? The one off California, and then we had a few that came up along the eastern coast. Uh, but it hasn't been a really fierce, not like Katrina. Now, Katrina, I remember because we got the influx of everything up here, even the gators. We got people, we tried to send trailers down there to them and they stopped us. But then we ended up with weird uh, tropical animals in Arkansas. The gators, the gators. We even had a few crocodiles. All right, so the earthquakes. Oh my goodness, folks. I took a look at them today and I thought, wow, why are we having so many in um, Texas and up towards Oklahoma? Um, and they were, I said they were all going to go east. Remember, I said that's what I said yesterday. They're all going to go east. Well, no, they decide to gang up on Texas and Oklahoma. And let me show you the map. And my computer's been acting weird today. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. Um, Now I'm going to go with the latest ones. Um Chile with the 4.5, and then there was one in uh, Hermleigh, Texas, 3.9. It wasn't very deep. And now it's not showing on my map, but it was Prague, Oklahoma with a 3.0 with about 5 miles deep. These aren't deep earthquakes. These are all shallow. Uh, Now, folks, I want to tell you that I was working out in the middle of nowhere in California, and I felt kind of weird, and I thought, wow. And I happened to look up, and the lady that I was working for her. She had a hanging plant and it started swinging. And I said, "You know what? We got an earthquake." And she came in. She goes, "Did you kind of feel weird?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I think we had an earthquake, and I see your plant kind of swinging." And USGS didn't record that earthquake. Me and her felt it, and it was pretty strong. We don't know where it was from. It could have been Ridgecrest. It could have been uh, the Sacramento Valley. We don't know. But they never listed it. But I felt it. She felt it. And then her husband even came home and said he felt it. But it was never recorded. All right. So I want to get on with these earthquakes. Um, we have a 5.4 in Vanuatu. This was about 35 miles deep. Then we want to go on to um, Prague, New Guinea. That was about 8 miles deep. These are pretty good size earthquakes, folks. 5.8 in Babar, Indonesia. I want to go up to Japan region with the Izu Islands, 5.0. And then we even go over to Mongolia, Turt. This was about 8 miles deep, and it was a 4.3. I know people are feeling these things, and why aren't they saying anything? Um, Sandpoint, Alaska, 4.0. And then let's get over to the United States, where we have a 3.0 in Abandon, Oregon. It was about 8 miles deep. And then we had one in Cupertino, California, 2.8. It was about 4 miles. See, I know everybody's feeling them. Come on, California, let me know. Alaska, over in even Hawaii. Hawaii isn't even on the map today or yesterday. Did you notice that? I know that Kilauea volcano, it's flowing. It's flowing and flowing. Now, maybe they didn't have no earthquakes, but the Kilauea volcano it's still flowing. Then we got New Mexico with about 5 miles deep, 3.5. Hermley, Texas, 3.9, 5 miles deep. Wow, how shallow are these? And then we have one in Prague, Oklahoma, 3.0 of about 5 miles deep. Wilson, Oklahoma, 2.5, 4 miles deep. Wow. I know we're feeling these. So if you feel a little bit weird, lightheaded, your dogs are not acting right, they're not eating, they're not sleeping, they're pacing in these areas from California all the way to Texas and Oklahoma, whining for no reason. It's because they feel these quakes. Dogs are real susceptible. So are cats. Cats will pace. Cats will destroy things in an earthquake. Huh. All right. Here we go. Um, Corinto, Nicaragua. This was 47 miles deep at 4.9. And then it went over to Jamaica, 4.3. And then over to Guanabo, Puerto Rico. This was 108 miles deep. Now, finally, deep. Now, the one in Brazil, it was 200 miles deep. So then now we're starting to see the deep ones. Now, my thing is if it's a surface earthquake, why isn't it on the news today? And then, of course, we have this one in Chile that was 120, about 120 miles deep, maybe 100 miles deep. So, wow. What's next over the weekend? Are we going to see that these earthquakes in Oklahoma are actually going to move over to the East Coast like they should? Or are they going to backtrack? Uh, Now, Yosemite, folks, over 100 a day. And as Old Faithful keeps rising, are we going to see a big blow in Yosemite? Or are we going to see maybe the New Madron Fault Line? It flowed backwards at one time. And everybody is like, oh, it's basically the Mississippi is gone, the river's so low that people are starting to worry about it. Well, it's starting to fill back up. Now, are we going to see the Mississippi River flow backwards again? I don't know. Everything that's been going on, folks, it wouldn't surprise me. Nothing has made sense with the earthquakes, the volcanoes. It's almost like a weather war, but I don't want to really get into it. All right, so Dr. Doolittle, scientists on the verge of cracking the code for talking to animals. Are we going to be able to talk to animals? Talking with dogs and decoding whale sounds and interpreting bird calls could be all possible in a coming years of artificial intelligence as we put all of their info into AI. And AI is saying, we have been talking with our dogs for a very long time and our cats. What about our birds? They say, well, not really. AI tools to analyze vast quantities of data on various species. Communications ranging from sounds, postures, expressions, and more. To determine if they can understand and talk to animals in human terms. The thing is, as they're looking at, maybe we shouldn't be looking at human terms as much as we should looking into animal terms, how they react. If you yell at your dog, his ears will go back. Same way with cat. And they say even birds will chirp in disgust, where they'll squawk, and if they're happy, they'll chirp. And they say it's the same way with all animals. You just have to look at their ears, their eyes, and facial expressions. Um, and so AI now, they say, are with their new developments, people realize that they are on the brink of a major advances in regard to understanding animals, communications, behavior, according to this institute. The research and possible breakthrough will go beyond just translating animal sounds. An animal language researcher is aiming at developing an AI model that uh, interprets dog barks as well as their uh, facial expressions for their owners. So here we have it. We might have a Dr. Doolittle breakthrough. Wow. I'm looking forward to this. I don't know about y'all, but I'd like to know why my dog keeps digging in the backyard. You know, if Dr. Doolittle and AI could tell me, I would love it. Or tearing up everything that she can get a hold of, both of them. Uh, I do want to let y'all know. Last night was the first night that we had the puppy. Um, and I opened up the living room and the hallway, and when he went to sleep, I went to bed. And about an hour later, he was wanting to be in the bed. So I threw him up in there, and it wasn't until 4 o'clock when he decided to be wide awake. Oh boy. So I've been up since 4, folks. Um, Trivia. You guys going to join us for a little bit of trivia? I'm going to do a little different tonight. I'm going to do it on, I think, on the hour. And trivia will be last. I'll do this show till for about 10, 15 more minutes. I'll do news for an hour, and then I'm doing trivia all by itself. Do you know your lyrics? Do you know the songs? Classic rock. I picked classic rock this week because I thought, you know what better way to celebrate classic rock and some of those that are still alive in all these bands. So be sure to join us. Um, Caught on camera, fireball over New Hampshire. Boy, is this weird.
So you're looking at a great example here of something we call
Fireball. And you know, they say there's an asteroid out there as big as a house. But then we have a satellite that's coming back through to bring us info on that asteroid. Over the next few days, I think it's going to be in the Arizona desert, where they're going to look at this asteroid and find out what's going on with it, what it's made of, and also for it to land. Wow, this is going to be interesting, folks. I'm looking forward to it. I need to get out there and get me a telescope or something so I could start watching the skies, because just going out and looking, I'm in the city, and it's just really, you can't see much unless you have a telescope. And you know, I know my dad. Uh, my dad got a telescope during when the Apollo was walking on the moon. And, you know, we all took turns and we all looked, and a few of us said, oh, we see someone up there walking. Well, with the telescope wasn't that good, folks. John, yeah, John told us. And I think there was um, Karen and Anita that was looking. I think their older brother, and they were all jumping on it, saying, "Yeah, we see someone walking on the moon." I looked at it, I'm all excited. I'm like, I don't see nothing. What'd I miss? But cheap telescope, folks. It's not that I missed it. I think they were just, I don't want to say they lied, but boy, kids will say the darndest things. All right, and we'll find out later. Florida woman allegedly took an alligator from previous job, kept it in a motel bathtub, and used it for birthday pictures. What? I mean, I could think of better birthday pictures than an alligator in a bathtub. Was she going to fill it up and climb in or what? I mean, when they do this, they get the little guys. It's not like it's not like they get the big ones. And when I looked at it, I know I laughed, but I laughed because it's a little alligator, and shame on. I'm sorry. I'm thinking, I'd like a cake. I'd like the kids to do me a, um, a spice cake with buttercream frosting, and I'd like a few candles. I never thought about having an alligator if for my birthday, or even an iguana. Now, my son, when he was alive, and of course, uh, I'm going to celebrate his birthday over this week, the next couple days. But he would do snakes, but never have I thought about an alligator for selfies for my birthday. Am I too old or what? She oh boy, wait till you hear this, because this is just crazy. Now, let's see what uh, I'm hoping to catch her name on here. Now it says Stefan allegedly told officials that she borrowed the reptile without permission from her former job. Well, she stole it. She stole the alligator to take pictures with it for her birthday. She alleged she took the alligator by by entering the facility before it opened using keys she still had in her possession. She then made the drive back to the hotel with the gator and put it put it in the water in the bathtub in her hotel. It's unclear who called the authorities, but the gator was alive. It was cold to the touch, and because you got to keep them warm, folks. They're warm water creatures. The colder it gets, they kind of go dormant, kind of like a lizard would. It was returned to the Croc encounters later that day. Um, the incident report stated it was also noted the reptile had no way to take itself out of the water. Well, yeah, because you think about if you put a cat or a dog, a puppy in the water, they can't get out. So this poor alligator, we don't know the temperature of the water, too hot, too cold, but it wanted out of the bathtub and it couldn't get out until she took the selfie. Karen, I don't know. I'm starting to wonder about these people. A cake sold at Walmart recalled over undeclared allergen. So if you bought a cake at Walmart, you might listen up. Cake slices sold at Walmart are being recalled. They have an undeclared allergen that could be posed to a serious risk to some customers. David Cookies issued a recall after being alerted that 968 units of its market side ultimate peanut butter chocolate cake. Well, that sounds good. Peanut butter chocolate cake. I'm going to go find one this weekend, I swear. Peanut butter chocolate cake. Yeah. Peanut butter. Well, you know, I could even cut the cost and get a jar of peanut butter, a package of chocolate chips, and a spoon. Ain't that right, Karen? Karen's like, don't do it. I've lost 10 pounds, folks, and I'm happy about it. And, you know, the whole thing about peanut butter with chocolate chips, yeah. Throw the cake out. It's, you know, it's coming up on my birthday, and I like spice cake and uh, uh, white white chocolate or white frosting on it. And boy, I tell you, peanut butter chocolate, yeah. Uh, so this kind of reminds me. Let's go back. Let's go back in years with my sister, and she has passed away. She ended up with cancer. But me and her one night, we're sitting there watching scary movies, and she's talking about she's got dry mouth, and it's maybe something to eat, something to drink. So she comes back with a spoonful of peanut butter. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. Well, I guess she had dry mouth really bad. And when she took that spoonful of peanut butter, she couldn't talk. She was, and the scariest part of the movie came on. And she's like, I don't know if she was trying to scream or just get the peanut butter out of her mouth. All right. I'm gonna go on, folks, before I end up with too much on there. Um, wow, we got some really cool objects. You know, it's Christmas, getting Christmas time. We don't have but a few weeks away. And so, what are we going to get? Well, you know, there's a light socket security camera that just caught my attention. I'm like, wow, who's going to get that for me for Christmas? Um, I'm going to have you guys take a look at it. Is this what you want? Or you just want a pair of slippers? And just screw it in, just like a light bulb. Okay, and then the Miracle Watt. Now, this is to reduce your bill. It's a breakthrough in technology, ensures a clean, steady electrical current throughout your home. And it, you know, you hook it up, and it will cut your cost, or it'll tell you how to cut your cost. What about the audio, a hearing device? You know, if you're, what about the Stealth Blackbird? Now, this is a drone. Now, I went and got a drone. I haven't showed you guys yet. I got me a drone, and you know, now that I got it, I'm like, okay, so what am I going to do with it? I can fly it on my property and show you guys what I have, but other than that, what's a drone for? I mean, if I was a spy, it'd be really good. But now, you know, now that I got it, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? I don't know. I'll get this. I'll get this on it. Okay, Omega Wi-Fi amp. Uh, this is videos that will take forever to load. Website errors. Netflix pauses. Lagged games. Choppy videos. Do you have any of these? If you're struggling with any of these, you know that how frustrating it is. And thankfully, it's often to do something fixable. Your poor rotor or disrupted signals. So here we go. Omega Wi-Fi amp. Now we're buying amps for our Wi-Fi. Cosmic Globe. Now this one I thought was pretty cool. This would be a great Christmas gift for the 13, 14, 15-year-old. A motorized flying sphere that floats, glides, climbs, and basically in your hand. The most popular virtual gadget of the new year. Wow. I don't know what else it does besides float, but it could be fun for a 12-year-old. Miracle sheets. Yeah, I need that. Made from bamboo, derived, basically, they say these California design dim sheets are great for people who want the breathable or bamboo without their steep price tag. So start looking for them. Sheets of bamboo. Um, well, I don't want to do the abs. Well, what about ZapTech? Perfect for both indoor and outdoor. It keeps over 375 square foot of your living space free from mosquitoes. Yeah, we need one of these. You know, I'm going to probably move on to the next one. I seen a dumb criminals that they were called to a bar and they get in there because shots fired. Come to find out, patrons were shooting the cockroaches. They said they're not getting rid of them. They claim that they've put everything out. They put the bait out, everything out. Nothing's killing the cockroaches but us shooting them. So they had little 22s. Whether it was a rifle or handgun, they were shooting the cockroaches. So ZapTech is the newest revelation for bugs. I don't know. What happened to Raid? Fisherman in Alaska catches this bright blue fish. Now, I seen this the other day and I thought, well, maybe I won't show you guys this, but maybe I should. This fish is beautiful. Now, why he kept it, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to taste it. Why not put it back for it to breed and have more than, and I love to fish. I just don't eat fish. And to put this beauty back in the water to me would be the best thing to do. Um, um, in a statement by Chimlek, said the rock greening he caught tasted familiar to trout. See, I wouldn't have ate it. Oh, you mean guy. The Alaska Department of Fish and Game has been able to offer a consumption advice on a rock breeding because the agency hasn't been successfully gathering sufficient sample uh, uh, intel for the fish. Now, look, if you cut it open, it's blue. Me, I think it ought to be a library or a museum and cut in half like this. You could see it. Because I don't know if we should be eating it. The Oregon Department of Fish and Game and Washington Department both state um, it possesses dark scales that have a modified pattern, which can range from brown, red, orange, green. So the fish is basically a species that can blend in with rocky environments. While the fish seems to have its own evolved camouflages, the rock greetings have blue or blue green mouth and flesh, according to both wildlife agencies. I don't know, that's a little much in the description, but it's blue. It's when you cut into it's blue. Now I'm still waiting for a lot of info to come from John Solomon, and he said he'd get a hold of me this week. And now we're at the end of the week. Yeah, that's what they always tell me. I'll get a hold of you. We love your stuff, but we'll get a hold of you at the end of the week. And folks, it's both shows. Um, with the weather and lifestyle news, I've had so many that say they love it and they're going to promote it. And then, they go away and I never hear from them again. And then they still send me another email saying they love the show. Wisconsin defends on no population cap, and the wolf management. Um, Man, when I was out in California in Ecology Club, so many times, decade after decade, if you put the wolves in and you let them breathe, they breathe too much. Then you have to go in and move the wolves. And I truly believe if they're going to start moving them to, start off with, uh, oh, never mind. I'm just going to go on. I'm just going to go on, folks, because I'm running out of time. All right. Trainer reveals why your dog won't listen. It's not you, it's the dog. Um, just because your dog can do something at home in your kitchen doesn't mean that they now know how to do it. I've learned that with my own dogs. Just because I taught them something, a couple days down the road, you go teach them, you say, well, you know how to sit. And they stare at you and they're not sitting. They don't understand what you're asking of them for the most part. Lack of reinforcement history. Always praise your dogs, folks. Always praise your dogs. Now, the UK, they're looking at all types of pit bulls. They've had so many that have been bit over there, from children to elderly, that the UK is considered banning these dogs, even the puppies. And more we're starting to see in our own country of we voted in someone that had a lot of experience, we thought. And now that we're settled in, we see that the Biden administration basically left them with uh, uh, being able to be attacked. And we're talking. So let's talk UK and what's going on over there. Now they will do stuff before we do. And if the UK is going to take out pit bulls or Staffordshire terriers, because that's what other people use, or if it's mixed breed, but it still looks like a um, pit bull, they're going to now start banning them because they're too vicious. Because when you have them attacking cops, then you got a problem. The Home Secretary of the United Kingdom said that bully was a clear and lethal danger in all of the accounts. Okay, I'm sorry, folks. I've had issues with my computer today, and I was trying to look into this UK thing. And now this is for months. I'm sorry that they have been calling for a ban on what they call an XL bully, which has originally bred with the American Pit Bull Terrier. See, that's what I was trying to find out. Is it the Staffordshire or is it the American Pit Bull? Because now there's a difference between the two. The American Staffordshire, I think that's how it's pronounced, are a lot more calmer than the American Pit Bull. And over in the UK, they're having the American Pit Bull now, folks, that have been biting. And it's only to protect the family. And I know a lot of people say my pit bull don't bite. Well, they might because they might have enough of the Staffordshire part of it that it's going to be calmer. It's going to be okay with family members and friends and other animals. But when you get the American Pit Bull, it has been bred over the decades to kill. And that's what some people want this. I don't understand why they want a pit bull that they train to kill. I mean, you want them to hurt your mailman or somebody walking by with their dog. Uh, so it's really it has been a big, huge dilemma over there in the UK on with their courts on do they ban pit bulls or are they going to go ahead and let them go? Well, they found in 2021 that it questioned the authorities. So they were now questioning the people that had them. And they said if you had a puppy and you had someone that just wanted to love and love its family, it's been okay. The problem is there's too many out there that breed these dogs for fighting and for protection. And so now they're at the point that they're entering into either confiscate them or they're finding they're wandering. But over there in the UK, they now said there are so many that are vicious that they're going to have to do something about it. And they said, so now they're going to ban them in city limits. Now, I know our own city does quite a bit of it, how many dogs you can have, how many cats, and how many you can feed that are strays. All right, I'm going to move on. All right, stupid laws in the United States. All right, because we're down to the end of the show. And boy, I'm running late. In Juneau, flamingo owners are prohibited from bringing their pet into the barbershop. It is against the law to honk a car horn at the sandwich shop after 7 p.m. And this is in Arkansas. I checked on it. I don't know about that. It's illegal to refuse a person a glass of water in Arizona. It is illegal to share a Netflix password with others. That's in Tennessee. In Fort Thomas, dogs are prohibited from chasing people or other animals. You cannot have more than one alcoholic drink in front of you at one time. Well, no, because you can't. Well, I don't think you can drink two at once. It is almost against the law to catch a fish with your hands. I see who did that one. It is illegal to fall asleep in the cheese factory. Bear wrestling matches are prohibited. Don't poke the bears. It is illegal to sell your children. Where was this? It was in Florida. Don't go to Florida and sell your kids at Disneyland. Damn it. Not even Disneyland in LA. Don't sell your kids. That one caught me off guard. It's illegal to sell your children. It's got Florida. How about statewide from California to New York? Don't sell your kids. It is illegal for bars to run a 2-for-1 deals on alcoholic drinks in Georgia. In Billings, it is illegal to own a pet rat. I had a pet rat. We had a couple of them. They had babies and had babies and had babies, lots of babies. Yeah, we went ahead getting rid of them. I didn't know you would get 30, 40, 50 babies out of just a couple of them. They bred faster than, wow. All right, let's get on with this. In Cambridge, a $50 permit is required to play soccer in the park on Sundays. It is illegal for a group of people to wear masks in public. In El Monte, it is illegal to own pinball machines. In Boulder, it's illegal to taunt or insult a police officer until he or she asks you to stop. It is illegal to race horses on the highway. Who does? Karen and Susan, have you guys seen that before? You're riding down the highway and lo and behold, there's two guys racing the horses. I haven't even seen the cops. You know, the cops say they pull people over and they block off one of the streets. They say, who is the person in the passenger seat? And they're gone. Wow. Okay. It is illegal to use a firearm to fish. Oh, well, that's a gimme right there. Don't shoot the fish. Come on. Don't get angry. Just put the little hook on and you throw it out there with a little worm or um, fake bait is what I call it. And they throw it out there and they put all the scents on it and guarantee to catch you a fish. In the Mediterranean, it is prohibited to use a bean whistle in public. It is illegal to show a rated movie at a drive-in theater. Okay, is there even any drive-in theaters left? Boy, I like those. We had them here, but it was so infested with mosquitoes, we couldn't stand it. We only made it. It was a 3-movie feature, and we only got 2 before we were fighting the skeeters so bad we couldn't do it and left. Yeah, get control of the skeeters. All right, so folks, that is it. And I don't mean to be anti-pit bull, folks. Just be very careful when you get a dog. Make sure it likes your kids, because I've seen so many times where you think it's okay and they turn. Just be careful. Raise them and tell them they're poodles. That's what I did with all mine. I said, you're a poodle. And for some reason, the name poodle upsets them, because I've had a few of them get upset with me calling them a poodle. So they must know what it is. All right. We will see you all. Oh boy, let's see. We've got about 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and we'll be on the news, and then we'll do some trivia. So come on back, watch some news, and I'll do trivia after that. And then it's the weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. If you don't do our news or trivia, we'll see you on Monday. And I want to thank you all for watching and sharing. Share the show. I went a little over tonight with the show, but it's okay. I got lots of news and I got lots of trivia. Do you know your lyrics?